victory. Alex, let's talk about that Chelsea-Manchester City game.
Whew. It was a bit of a roller coaster, wasn't it? It was a bit.
was.
I mean, it was a very, very interesting game. I have to say, I thought Man City were going to win it quite comfortably. I think we both. I think we both predicted that. Maybe not in terms of scoreline, but in terms of overall play, possession-based football, as Man City like to do, as we all know by now. But I have to say, Frank Lampard. Well, obviously, we'll talk about maybe the result that happened yesterday a tiny bit, but. Frank Lampard overall has done a very good job at Chelsea. He's clearly got a lot of young players playing well, and to beat a team like Man City in the sort of he knew what was at stake in terms of like they want to postpone Liverpool's they wanted to postpone Liverpool's title lift for as long as possible, and they didn't manage it. So it was let's quickly though talk about De Bruyne's free kick. It was phenomenal. Amazing. Phenomenal. I mean, I'll be really interested to see if he signs a new contract, etc. I think notable players from the game as well. Christian Pulisic, what a goal that was as well. Yeah. He looks like he could be in the next 5 years for Chelsea.
He suffered a hamstring injury, I think.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He did. But in that game, I think he's going to be brilliant if he carries on in that trajectory he has. Because I have to say, I wasn't too. I didn't think coming from the Bundesliga he could make the impact that he has done when he started, and he's done brilliantly.
Yeah, I think that's been sort of Chelsea's sort of game, though. I think they seem to have these results which have a big impact on the whole league. I don't know why they always manage to do it, but Manchester City have been like this a bit all season, to be honest. They've been a good side to watch. They're comfortably going to finish in second place. I'm not doubting that for a second. But they have just been one step behind against Liverpool this season, and they've lost 6 or 7 games. I think Manchester City.
I think they've actually lost more games than Arsenal this season, which is quite a funny statistic. Or I think maybe equal amount of games. But that just sort of shows the inconsistency.
Exactly. But let's talk about the bit wider context of this game. Because, of course, Chelsea, Manchester City only really top 4 impact on that a little bit. But this game gave us Liverpool as our Premier League champions for the first time in 30 years. The scenes were electric. I was kind of getting involved, and I was like, fair play. It was exciting stuff to see, and to see all the players' reactions on the news, and Jurgen Klopp, like, obviously completely overridden with emotions and feelings for what he's managed the club. I have to say they've been outstanding, and they thoroughly deserve it, don't they?
I think people, because obviously in the recent last 3 or 4 games they had before prior lockdown, and obviously the Everton game straight after, there was little concerns here. Like, obviously no one was denying they're going to win the league, but really, are they going to be one of the best teams ever to win it? Is the rest of the league poor? No, look, Liverpool to go. They've played 31 games, right? And they've won, I think, or 30, 32, 31, and they've won 28 of those, drawn 2 and lost 1. I don't think you can quite comprehend at the start of the season, like, if a team could be in that situation. Like, Man City got 100 points. I think Liverpool are going to surpass that with relative ease. And I'm going to put it out there, and I think people can make arguments about the rest of the leagues being poor, or whatever. And maybe it's not the best title race. No one's claiming that. But I think if Liverpool carry on the way they're going, which I think they will be better. I think they'll be in higher regard than the Invincibles, which is I totally get the mindset of the Invincibles, because not losing a game is a huge feat, and I'm not trying to take away any credibility from that. Like, no, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm saying, let's say I predict they'll win 6 out of their last 7 games, or 7 out of the last 8. Now, imagine winning 34 of 38 games, or 35, 38 games, compared to the Arsenal's, I think 26 it was. If you just put it into magnitude of the winning mentality of a team, you can't look past that. And I would regard them as one of the best team in Premier League history. I would.
I mean, that's always going to be a big statement because everyone will whip out, Invincibles, century winners at Manchester City, Man United with all their Premier League titles and everything. Treble winning in '99, Chelsea of 05, I think it was, or 03, or whatever it was. Everyone's going to say those things, but we have to sit here and go, Jurgen Klopp arrived at Liverpool 4 or 5 years ago now. This has been a project that has succeeded. We've seen many projects start. We've seen Pochettino at Tottenham. He sort of started to get there and unfortunately trailed off. They tried to do it with Emery at Arsenal to recreate that Wenger thing. It didn't work at all. But Jurgen Klopp came into Liverpool and he's just sparked that winning mentality as you talked about. And this has been a growth over 4 or 5 years, and it's proof that these sort of projects do work.
Because the whole thing is with Klopp and Liverpool is that as much of a cliche as it is, that he gets the club, he gets what the fans are about, and if you've got someone that has obviously a really good head in terms of a plan and the players he wants to bring in, the players he wants to sell, which he clearly has. Like we talk about the transfers that they've had, and selling Coutinho for the money they did. Brilliant business. Bringing in Firmino for 35 mil, Salah for 35 mil, Mane for 35 mil. Like all these players who now think how much they're all worth now. In the hundreds of millions they're all worth now. Fabinho for 40 mil, I think it was. And then obviously you've got Alisson and Van Dijk both in the 70s. But again, they're genuinely invaluable players at the moment. And
absolutely,
it's the way he's carried out his plan is phenomenal. And especially, I think, as well, people overlook the fact that imagine if you're a Liverpool fan last year, playing your best season in the Prem by a country mile and still losing out, and then coming back this year and winning it so convincingly. I think it's just they're a joy to watch, and fair play to them. Big congrats. You can't really say much more, can you?
No,
but it's
absolutely right. I think Liverpool fans would have felt at the end of last season that this is always how it's going to go. We're always going to be runners up, however well we do. They finished with 97 points last season, I think it was, which was title winning in any league.
Yeah, exactly.
That year. And they still didn't win it, but and then they must have thought, well, that's sad. But no, Jurgen Klopp's kept that winning mentality. Yeah. He's kept that project going, and I think you have to say he's probably the best manager in the world right now. I mean, you can't deny that he's won. He's been in a Champions League final, won a Champions League, and now won a Premier League in 3 seasons. That's incredible. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah. I think they're going to they could turn into a force that could dominate Premier League for many years, and I obviously, as I'm not a Liverpool fan, so that kind of frustrates me a little bit personally. But as an actual club, they deserve to be up there. Everyone's always thought Liverpool deserved to be up there. I don't think, and seeing the league table and seeing that little C next to Liverpool's name, it's actually something quite nice about it, because even us who aren't Liverpool fans, to see it is good. I just hope it's a Tottenham sign next year, but I can dream. It will never happen.
You can dream.
It will never happen. But they have been amazing, and to have a player like Jordan Henderson as the captain, who's been there from such a young age and has grown as a player, and now as a captain of an amazing Liverpool side, can lift that Premier League trophy. I can't wait. I can't wait for them to lift that Premier League trophy with fans as well. Hopefully,
they deserve it. They deserve it.
Absolutely deserve it.
And I think another team, just to put into perspective, is that there's a really nice balance in the Liverpool team between obviously sort of players they bought in for a lot of money that they already knew were world class or could be world class, but the likes of Robertson, for example, that they bought for 8 million from Hull, who's now turned into a world beater, arguably the world's best left back at the moment, or certainly in the top 5. They've got Alexander-Arnold, who's come through their youth system in the last 2 or 3 years and just smashed it. And then, as you said, Henderson in the middle, and people like Wijnaldum, who's in the middle, 8 million, I think it was, from Newcastle as well, who got relegated 4 years ago. All of which is they've become part of an unbelievable team, and it's staggering that Klopp's managed to get so much out of them, and that's, I think, as well, something you got to give Klopp credit for as well. He's
Absolutely.
not just bought in a load of players ready-made. He's had to buy players that he's seen potential in, and not many people know about, and bring them up to be world-class players.
I think that's one thing that the Klopp era and Liverpool have done, is they have this perfect blend of star players, youth players brought through their academy, and players which are not that highly regarded, and actually working with them and making them the players that they can be. And Klopp's done that to great success, and I hope they're successful for many more seasons to come. Not necessarily Premier League, but Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. You know, I want to see Liverpool have a enjoy this experience and show that this team isn't just a one-off one win. That's that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's what they are at all. And you know, statues have been in the news a lot recently. Do you know what you should make a statue of? You should make a statue of Jurgen Klopp holding that Premier League trophy, because he has done wonders for that club, and there is no denying it. He should be celebrated and glorified outside at Anfield. Honestly, that's the truth of it.
What a bombshell to end that little segment on.